State your name and who you represent.
My name is James Bell, and I am a representative of Multicultural America, which has a website, www.multicultural-us.com. And in Multicultural America's website, what we do is we share ideas and thoughts from various cultures around the world and here in the United States of America.
Yes. On June the 19th, Africans and African Americans who met here a few weeks ago are meeting back here on June the 16th, for the Global Jobs and Business Ceremony. And how do you think, what impact would that have here in Tampa Bay and in the nation and the world if African American leaders get together for a global cause?
Cut.
Yes, as you know, the leaders from African American leaders and also African leaders met here in Tampa Bay a few days ago. So they agreed to get back together for the Global Freedom and Economic Justice ceremony that's going to be on June the 16th. What impact do you think that will have on America and Africa and civilization itself if all of these leaders got together to promote global freedom and economic justice worldwide?
Well, I see it as one big step for Africans and African Americans to come together to share ideas and thoughts in reference to getting closer to global freedom and economic justice, which is the pretty much the point of this ceremony. Um, what we're dealing with now is a period where not everybody is fully liberated in a sense of either emotionally, financially, spiritually, or anything. So what we're doing here on June 16th is we're bringing this ceremony together to bring all of these leaders here from Africa and here in America together to share these thoughts and ideas and come up with a plan to build from the bottom on up to achieve this economic independence and global freedom to be one step closer to a better place here in America and throughout the world.
Um, would you recommend to Africans worldwide and African Americans to go to our site, and because we have some information on there to help them prepare to support their leaders and to support their country and the world on June 16th?
Well, I encourage people to go to www.multicultural-us.com in order to, prepare for this upcoming ceremony that's coming up on June 16th. What will be done there is there'll be, ideas shared and given out by these, international leaders here in America and abroad, so that once they attend the ceremony, they'll be able to at least get a head start on what's going on there instead of going in there, I guess you would say, blindly in a sense. Even so, if you're not able to take that opportunity, I still encourage you to come to this ceremony because it's going to be a great event that will, uplift and encourage you in the future.
Yes, and also, just real quick, would you also encourage African leaders? We know we having leaders from uh, several African countries going to be here and several leaders from America. Would you encourage all leaders in Africa and all leaders in America to come, be in fellowship, and to work on a global cause together?
Oh, of course, of course. I would, invite and welcome all leaders from Africa and here in America to go to this ceremony. It is going to be something that'll benefit all parties involved that attend. So I greatly encourage you to come to this ceremony on June 16th.
Yes. Our ancient ancestors are the one that first one to develop mathematics, science, religion, agriculture, built the pyramids, and and created one form of democratic government continent-wide without, say, mass communication that we have today. Do you think that if we came together like we were during ancient times, that we'll have that same type of mindset if we can come together as we did like we were in ancient times?
Well, it's funny that you say that because these days not a lot of people recognize the Africans, in North Africa and all around that continent as the pioneers for these concepts such as government, mathematics, science, and so forth. They were one of the pioneers in reference to creating a system such as a monetary system, construction, development, and everything, such as the pyramids. The pyramids is one of the most innovative structures in the world, and yet that was built many many years ago, and that had to be done through geometric concepts and other mathematic concepts in order to construct it. So I see that this ceremony should be able to bring some of those feelings and concepts back to the Africans and African American people, and also those in the diaspora, because we are we are one of the most innovative and creative people in this planet, and I think that a lot of people have lost sight of that. So we need to start doing these things in order to bring these concepts back, in order to bring ideas back that would transcend this century to another level. The pyramids was something that transcended that period to another level. I mean, to this day, people are still in awe of those pyramids. So I think that we need to do something that is in reference to that level that transcends not just from this century, but future centuries.
Yes. So you think that if the knowledge that we have on our website came from ancient Africa, and it's very similar to the knowledge that they built the pyramids with, the concepts they built the pyramids with, that let them got to that knowledge. And that knowledge is designed to help prepare people to put them in the state of mind to use that knowledge when the leaders come up with a plan to execute that knowledge. Would you suggest that Africans and African Americans, get on our website, go on our website, and get the same knowledge, the same concepts that the ancient kings and queens used to build the mother of all civilizations in the pyramid on back to the American knowledge?
Well, I encourage them to go to Multicultural America's website, www.multicultural-us.com, in order to get these concepts that were pretty much derived from those ancient times in Africa, and how that progressed into how we're using those concepts today. I think that many of these ideas and innovations have been pretty much almost set aside to a point, but now we need to bring those back, because it seems like, well, to me it seems like we're at a level where we're kind of stagnant as far as like innovation and creation of many concepts, ideas, inventions, and so forth are put forth. um, we haven't It doesn't seem like we've had something big come since I'd say the 1960s or 1970s. So we need to bring back that drive from the civil rights movement back then up to today, to where we're able to come up with various ideas, come up with new business, new strategies that could bring us back up to the level that we were once, back in ancient times in Africa, when Africa was one of the strongest continents in the world, and they had some of the biggest civilizations in the world. So we need to go back to that point. And so with this global freedom and international justice ceremony, plus going on to www.multicultural-us.com, we are able to get those ideas and be able to exercise them.
Yes. Dr. King once said if he was standing at the beginning of time and the Almighty asked him which age would he will live in, he said he'll take his mind to ancient Africa, and he'll come to America. He'll turn around and say to the master that if he will allow him to live just a few days in the second half of the 21st century, he will be happy. And do you think Dr. King saw the civil rights movement, the human rights movement? He said, a lot of nations was getting free in Africa at the same time the civil rights movement was going on here. Did you think that Dr. King saw the civil rights movement It's laying the foundation down for the reunification of Africans and humanity to promote global freedom and economic justice for all people and nations.
Well, I see that when he pretty much said that statement, he wanted to, bring those concepts that were from those ancient times in Africa and share it with, the civilization or the era that he was in, because he pretty much saw what they were doing in ancient times in Africa, and he was, very impressed with the concepts and things that they were able to do with their limited resources. If you think about it, we are in a, you would say, the technological age where we have everything in our grasp. But back then they didn't have anything close to that, but they were still able to come up with those concepts in order to, build a civilization that, still to this day is with, they have structures that are still to this day still up and strong and running strong, and it can't be duplicated. Those concepts can't be duplicated and replicated. So what they're trying to do here now is to try to see if they could, recollect some of those ideas and see if they're able to piece them together and build something that would, last over the test of time. And so with that being said, I'd say Dr. King wanted to take those ideas from ancient Africa and bring them to today's times, to see where, things would be able to, I'd say, see if they would be able to work today.
To address the problems of the day. Now, we have massive unemployment, massive problems, massive healthcare issue, poverty all over the world, neglect all over the world, injustice all over the world, and stuff like that. Do you think it would take the resurrection of that innovative man that built the pyramid and established civilization to address the problems that we confront today?
I'd say it can, but
Do you think that same mind is needed to deal with the problems of the day that we had during ancient times to deal with to create the first civilization?
well, that same mind is needed. It also, would take, also people that are part of the oppressors, because you got to understand that there's mainly the reason why there are, injustices and poverty and so forth is that there are people that want to keep others down, just to keep them down. And once you have somebody in a mind frame that they're not worthy of getting to a level, or they're not worthy of attaining such a level, it's almost stronger than anything ever. Physical, I'd say physical oppression is one thing, but mental oppression is greatly affecting other people. It affects people for generations. So I think people need to get in their mind frame that they are good enough to achieve higher levels than where they're at today. And once they start from there, then they'll be able to come up with the ideas and the concepts and the, practices that'll make them, in a better state that they are right now.
Do you think would you encourage people that the knowledge that we have on our website is designed to the knowledge of self, your ancient self, and the knowledge of all other ancient cultures, and the role they will play in achieving economic justice? If a person had that kind of knowledge, do you think it will remove some of those sense of inferiority or some of those, and if we can unite around that, do you think we'll find our own path to salvation and liberation back to our rightful, our normal self, if we had the knowledge on our website?
Well, I think that it can help them. You gotta also understand that it's also up to the individual. They have to make that choice that, okay, I am not happy with where I am now. I need to be at a better level. Once they make that choice, then they'll be able to take, the ideas that are at the website www.multicultural-us.com, and they'll be able to put that into practice. Because, ideas put on paper or put on a website or put on anything is nothing unless if it's put to practice.
Yes, and one of the things that one of the leaders was going to do is coming to put the knowledge on the website to execute that knowledge. They have the knowledge, and what they're coming to the Global Job and Freedom Summit is to find a way to execute that here in America and around the world, so that we all can have global freedom and international security. And would you encourage? And they